For decades, Exxon Mobil has been on the cutting edge of climate change research. Prior to the Paris Agreement dealing with greenhouse gas emissions, we had already written 150 publicly available papers, which includes 50 peer-reviewed publications and nearly 300 patents for a technology that will reduce emissions and other climate hazards. Our world that we know today is at risk. Global populations are exploding and expected to rise by nearly 2 billion. As worldwide economic output is expected to double, there will be an increased demand in energy equivalent to what is currently being used in the Western Hemisphere alone. ExxonMobil believes that affordable energy with reduced environmental impacts is not just possible, but a necessity for our future. As we work to provide clean and affordable energy all over the world, there are a multitude of issues that need to be balanced. One of these primary issues is air pollution exposure. In 2012, 7 million people were killed, which led the World Health Organization to label it the single largest environmental health risk. Inside of the home alone, air pollution from cooking or wood-burning stoves killed 4.3 million people, of which 500,000 were under the age of 5. Here at ExxonMobil, we are committed to limiting not just climate change, but ending poverty and other health issues caused by lack of access to clean energy. ExxonMobil can't do it alone. We need global partnership and teamwork to face the issues that climate change will bring in the future. Policymakers, governments, and local businesses must join us in approaching climate change together.
Darren Woods, ExxonMobil CEO, calls our industry to address this dual challenge: to provide affordable energy to support prosperity while reducing environmental impacts. Our partners know that energy fuels progress, and progress fuels our ability to meet the goals set in Paris, including the 2 degrees Celsius goal. Sustainability drives ExxonMobil's commitment to corporate citizenship. We believe our primary responsibility is to produce the energy and products the world needs in a responsible manner. We have established an external sustainability advisory panel to provide an independent review of our sustainability activities, and the panel reports on progress annually. And we have embraced the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and their aim to make significant progress on global economic, social, and environmental challenges by 2030. We know that ExxonMobil contributes to certain aspects of all 17 SDGs. And while we do believe that we address all 17 of the Sustainable Development Goals, ExxonMobil focuses on 8. 6 of those goals address poverty and other life issues, ending poverty in all its forms everywhere, ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for people of all ages, ensuring inclusive and quality education for all, achieving gender equality and empowerment for all women and girls, promoting sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth and full and productive employment, and ensuring sustainable consumption and production patterns. 2 goals, though, are the focus of the rest of this presentation. These goals really focus and live out the commitment that Darren Woods has identified as the dual challenge of providing affordable energy to support prosperity while reducing environmental impacts. Sustainable Development Goal number 7 ensures access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. And Sustainable Development Goal number 13 has ExxonMobil committing to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts.
ExxonMobil is committed to scientific research on climate change and how we can be partners. We've committed millions of dollars to research algae-based fuels and will continue a robust investment in research and development of new biofuels. Our research aims to be able to produce 10,000 barrels per day of algae-based fuel. Algae is demonstrating the capability to produce high-grade fuel using a fraction of the land area that other biofuels might use. Natural gas is almost certainly going to continue to play a role in the global economy for at least the next couple of decades. Exxon sees LNG as a cost-effective and cleaner alternative to providing energy needs to power homes and lives. Innovations in extraction mean that greater quantities can be withdrawn for storage, while new capabilities for energy production continue to improve the effectiveness of this resource. Natural gas plants to produce electricity can be a cheap and clean way for developing economies to power their growth. ExxonMobil believes that our participation in other realms of governance can be additive. The Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative helps inform governments of the competition that they face, as well as to more efficiently create the regulatory environment needed. More importantly, the EITI can help inform publics about the kind of resources their governments have and drive discussions around alleviating poverty and providing resources and services for the public. Carbon emissions can play a major role in the future ability of the SDGs and to provide sustainable energy. Innovation can be subsidized until becoming fully fledged technology. As such, ExxonMobil supports a revenue-neutral carbon emissions tax that would pump much-needed capital into the technology that will power the economy of the future. Our proposal is generally for the United States. It copies the successes of other countries and ultimately can be replicated elsewhere in developed states.
In order to fight climate change, ExxonMobil has put forth a four-step plan of action: mitigating emissions in their own operations, developing new technologies to reduce the production of greenhouse gases, engaging on climate change policy, and providing customers with viable, cleaner options are four key ways that ExxonMobil has been a leader in the fight against global warming. ExxonMobil has a track record that proves its dedication to fighting climate change. The forefront of the fight, however, is the reduction of greenhouse gases through mitigating emissions in operations. With investments in lower emission energy solutions, ExxonMobil has set forth a plan to cut their methane emissions by 15%. This plan is backed by a 19-year, $9 billion investment in lower emission solutions. Of the $9 billion invested, $20 million has been devoted to the Stanford Strategic Energy Alliance to find low-carbon solutions. More than 60 low-carbon emitting technologies have been produced to date. Further engaging on climate change policy, ExxonMobil has research extending into renewable energies, seeking to make clean energy a more viable option for the future. Finally, ExxonMobil offers their customers solutions through the reduction in plastic production and giving customers opportunities to reduce their own emissions. Natural gas, for example, produces 60% less greenhouse gases than traditional coal for power generation.